You have been the Chronic's Rabbit Hole, and Louisana, thank you so much for your YouTube membership request. I can't wait because you are bringing Florence and the Machine back down the rabbit hole today. We are going to be listening to Grace from the album High as Hope. I can't wait to get into this one today.
Thank you so much, Louisana. And you mentioned in your notes that this song is an apology to her sister.
Oh, very cool.
What did you say right before we came on here?
Florence is so pretty.
Not as pretty as you, though.
Oh, thanks, honey.
All right, everyone. This is Grace. Glad this is the studio version.
I'm sorry I ruined your birthday. I guess I could go back to university. Try and make my mother proud. Stop this phase I'm in, she deems dangerous and loud.
Powerful already.
The spelling is a problem, as is the discipline. I don't think it would be too long before I was drunk in Camberwell again. But this is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. Grace, I know you carry us, Grace, and it was such a mess, Grace. I don't say it enough, Grace. You are so loved.
Wow.
I'm sorry I ruined your birthday. You had turned 18 and the sunshine hit me and I was behaving strangely. All the walls were melting and there were mermaids everywhere. Hearts flew from my hands and I could see people's feelings. This is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. Grace, I know you carry us, Grace, and it was such a mess, Grace. I don't say it enough, Grace. You are so loved. And you were the one I treated the worst, only because you love me the most. We haven't
that
spoken
hurts.
in a long time.
Oh, that's so painful.
I think about it sometimes. I don't know who I was back then, and I hope on hope I would never treat anyone like that again.
Wow.
This is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. Oh, Grace, I know you carry us, Grace, and it was such a mess, Grace. I don't say it enough, Grace. You are so loved, Grace. faith in. This is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. This is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. This is the only thing I've ever had any faith in.
That song epitomizes the title of this album, High as Hope. Grace carries us through these tough relationships that you start forming as people throw walls up. And as the ones that you love the most, you tend to hurt the most because you know they're going to be there for you still. But then because of that, you turn into a whole different creature and you can't even reflect upon it. And just those lyrics were so penetrating. And I don't know if this is for everyone, but for those that have those relationships in their lives, whether it is your sister, your brother, family, friend, reach out to them, ask for that grace, apologize, get that relationship going better, tell them you weren't yourself during that time and you want to make amends. And that's what I took out of this.
Absolutely. I love that line that she had where she said, I treated you the worst because you loved me the best. And it is so true because the people who love us the most and love us the strongest and love us without restriction, that, what is that called? There's a word for that, unconditionally.
Unconditional, passionate love.
That unconditional love. And then we tend to treat those people the worst in our life because in a way we can get away with it. Because, well, you love me so I can yell at you and I need to vent my frustration. You're not going to leave. You're not going to run away.
Yeah.
And often in those cases, especially when we're young and, when we're children, we're going crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do things that are then unforgivable in those ways. And you can go years and years, even decades, without speaking to your sister. So that is these lyrics
Penetrating. So real, and so many of us have that yearning to hope they could get grace, because at that point when you have crossed some boundaries, grace is the only thing that helps an apology move forward, and that's why you have to live on grace. And even for me, I don't even know if her sister's name is Grace too, because that's how good she is as an artist. I was even thinking maybe her sister's name Grace too, so that's how much more this even is personal for her, on top that it can be applied for all of us as well with the grace aspect on it.
And I just to add to that as well, like with the grace that's being shown within this song, the self-titled Grace, it really takes grace to have that forgiveness, like you're saying, to be able to move forward, because forgiveness is so hard. It's excruciating, and then when you're wanting grace given to you, that's also hard.
It's not usually earned to the person wanting the grace.
No,
so it has to be
usually
freely
not.
given unconditionally.
Absolutely.
And that person that you just hurt who loved you unconditionally now has to give you grace unconditionally to come back. And that's what makes people amazing, in my opinion, is the ability to give grace if a real apology comes, because that's all that's needed to be heard, to really repent. And that's what she's asking for there too. And you can't help but notice on the album title, you can see that cross right on her arm there. And it's, I don't know if she's trying to be upside down or not, but there is that symbolism on her too that she has. So like,
just to remember grace,
in that thought of grace, in my
forgiveness.
opinion, and that's why I thought High as Hope is a religious thing, and you almost need a miracle to get grace. Grace is a miracle, and that's why it's so beautiful, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I have to just speak like musically on this. Like Florence and the Machine is always amazing. Florence has such a unique voice when she's portraying the emotions that are within her music. I'm sorry, like obviously I just like bawled my eyes out and had to recollect myself. And that's something that Florence is able to bring out of all of us, because to be able to say this letter, this apology to a loved one as close as a sister, and to do that with that quiver that she has in her voice as she's belting out.
Made it feel like she was
lyrics.
writing it as she was singing it.
Yes, and I can just in my mind I just see Florence writing and dancing and just like the full like artistry of everything she's embodying in this moment. It
She's amazing.
it's amazing.
And
it's so amazing.
she's so good if she's going full energy mode. She's so good when she's controlled. We needed this song today for that control to calm us down. So this is absolutely what we needed. Thank you so much, Louisa and Florence and the Machine fans. And to the brothers and sisters out there, we love y'all. And Kaylee, if you're watching, love you too. And sorry for being so different these past years as well. So I hope I can get some grace from you and we can have a good chat soon too. Hope you guys had a good time on the video. Please hit that like button if you did and subscribe if you want to see more Florence coming down the rabbit hole, because we definitely got more from this album as well. Peace and love, y'all.
Thank you so much, Louisa, for bringing this down the rabbit hole. Peace and love, everyone.
God bless.